Chelsea, of course, very much in the news over the last couple of weeks, parting company with Thomas Tuchel. Graham Potter, their new manager, got his career off to a fairly uninspiring start. They drew 1-1 with Salzburg in the Champions League, live on talkSPORT in midweek. And they have a new sporting director on the horizon. Kevin Hatchard, our European football expert, joins us on the line now. Kevin, tell us about Christoph Freund, the man who looks like he's on his way to Stamford Bridge.
Well, he's done a really good job, Alex, with Salzburg. He's been their sporting director since 2015. He's made some pretty big signings. He's brought through guys like Upamecano, Haaland, who you may have heard of. I've heard he's doing pretty well. He's signed Naby Keita, came through the system. And they've got some great young players like Benjamin Šeško. Karim Adeyemi's just come through and has gone to Dortmund. So he has been in charge of an established scouting network. He's also brought some very good coaches to the club, Marco Rosa, Matthias Jaissler, who's there at the moment. And so that's something he prides himself on, the ability to not only recruit players, but also recruit coaches. They don't just use data. Obviously, they do use that widely, but they also try and visit the player as often as possible, talk to the player if they can as much as possible. And the big question, I guess, would be, he has kind of inherited a system that was partially built by Ralf Rangnick and built very successfully. You know, it's worked at Leipzig, it's worked at Salzburg, it's worked at other Red Bull franchises. Presumably, Clear Lake and Todd Boehly would want him to effectively build something largely from scratch. So the question is, can he do that rather than operating within a framework that was already built when he took charge?
It seems a strange way of doing things, doesn't it? They've just hired a new manager and now they're looking to bring in a sporting director. Usually, clubs would do that in reverse. How do you think he will work with Graham Potter?
Well, I would think they would be of a similar mind because, of course, Graham Potter worked very, very well within the Brighton system. You know, Freund's approach is similar, excellent scouting, great use of data. So you would think they would dovetail in that respect. I agree with you. I think it's odd to have appointed the coach before you appoint the sporting director. But they were very, very keen on Graham Potter. That's clear. And that's clear that's been the case for quite some time. So I guess it makes sense. I don't see why it wouldn't be a good fit. But they've got to commit to it. The thing I find really, really interesting about this, and I said this before he took the job, Graham Potter, I think he's a great manager. I think he's a really good man manager. I think he's a brilliant tactician. But he needs an environment in which he can have the time to develop the system, have the time to get the players on board with what he wants to do. Chelsea haven't operated that way for years. They've had this kind of boom and bust idea in the Abramovich era. If they're genuinely serious about this, about building something that is more tangible, building something that is more durable, then great. But if they're not, if it's only half measures and they panic, I just don't see why they're doing this.